Welcome back to the series 101 Reasons to Forgive. This is day 82, and we are prepared to share with you the 82nd reason why forgiveness is important. Reason 82 is forgiveness initiates reconciliation. Forgiveness initiates reconciliation. The question is how? We established earlier this week that forgiveness makes room for reconciliation. We looked at forgiveness motivating unique approaches to reconciliation. But how does it happen? I want to introduce to you a thought. Forgiveness comes at the end of a hurt. Forgiveness follows the end of a hurt. Forgiveness, therefore, is the beginning of a reconciliation process. Forgiveness, then, is the beginning of the reconciliation process. Now, because forgiveness is only possible at the end of a hurt, not before hurt, because we don't forgive before things happen, we forgive after we've been offended. Because forgiveness comes after a hurt, it is likely that after the hurt, even when forgiving or after forgiving, we may think of the possibility of reconciliation, but it's not a conversation we will have immediately. What we may do is to look for evidence that it is possible to reconcile with that individual or with the group of individuals. Forgiveness initiates reconciliation in that forgiveness takes the first step, which is necessary if reconciliation is ever to become a reality. In other words, one of the wonderful things that we all do when we forgive is we begin the process of reconciliation when we forgive. The challenge is, for most of us, how we continue after we are forgiven to the materialization of a lived experience called reconciliation. Because reconciling means that we are letting go of the past and that we are building a bridge. Together we are building a bridge. Self-supported, we are building a bridge initiated by the offended, supported by the offender. Together we are self-supporting ourselves, building a bridge that will lead to us beginning a new future. In other words, each individual in the reconciliation process desires a different future. Each individual may not work towards what is desired, may not support what is desired. However, each individual begins the reconciliation process hoping that things will be different. Reconciliation then begins the process of materializing what was initially desired through the act of forgiveness. When we speak of reconciliation, we speak of a brand new start. I wish at this point to say that with reconciliation, scars are unavoidable. With reconciliation, scars are unavoidable. Despite the evidences of the wound, despite the existing scar, the commitment from the individuals involved in the offense, experiencing or initiating the offense, their commitment is we will live differently after what last transpired. The commitment is from each person that I will do differently. But how does the one who was offended do differently? Why does that person have to do differently? Well, reconciliation places that individual on trial. Forgiveness places the one who forgives on trial. How much are you willing to leave to support your decision to forgive? That's what reconciliation puts on trial. Forgiveness initiates reconciliation. Affirm with me today that you will consider how you initiate reconciliation. Affirm with me today that if there is a need for you to initiate reconciliation with anyone, you will have an approach that is uniquely possible for you and the individual involved. Looking forward to seeing you on day 83 when we continue the series 101 Reasons to Forgive.